I am here to talk to you today about the end of work-life balance. And in the spirit of technology that we've been talking about all morning, social media, and because today is now sometimes referred to as Throwback Thursday, I thought I would start with the obligatory embarrassing personal photo. I had a mother who worked full-time, and I also myself am a full-time working mother. And when I think about how our lives are different, her life then versus my life now, there's one really large difference. She did not have a cell phone or a laptop, which means that when she came home from work, she came home from work. And it was possible back then to have balance, to think of these things as two separate pieces that you could keep separate and in nice boxes. And today that is really not possible anymore. Our lives have become blended together through technology. The best companies will be the ones that acknowledge that work and life are intertwined in ways we cannot extract. They'll do it because it's the right thing to do for their teams, but they'll also do it increasingly because it is good for business. And for those who want to lead in this, I have 3 steps that I think are useful when thinking about how to build culture, values, and policies that support the full lives of our employees. The first has to do with understanding what motivates people. So I actually took this concept and applied it to a tool that I now use at work and every team I've ever worked on. So 15 years and many hundreds, probably thousands of people now use this tool. I call it the Motivational Pie Chart. Very basic. You just ask people what they care about, what matters to them. I've learned 3 things after 15 years of looking at pie charts like this. One is that compensation is like the bottom of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It really is important to people, but once people feel like they're being paid fairly and paid what they're worth, this essentially disappears. It turns into a teeny tiny part of what motivates people, and other factors become so much more important. 3 common themes that motivate more people than I've ever seen. 1 is feeling challenged. They want to feel like they're learning, growing, developing in their jobs. 2, they want to like the people they work with. And 3, the single most important factor I've seen come up on this year after year is the importance of meaningful work. We cannot underestimate the value of purpose in people's lives, and it's been talked about a lot today, but I want to just re-emphasize that point. Meaning matters to people. Once you look at the patterns, you can then work on policy development that is around things that motivate the most people on your team. So policies that support people are step 2. One example of a policy that we've recently launched and has been discussed already a little bit today is parental leave. We launched last year 18 weeks of fully paid parental leave for all parents, mothers, fathers, adoptive, LGBTQ families, etc. We did this for several reasons. One is that we're a global company, and we wanted to be fair globally and consistent. And then 2 is that we wanted to recognize the evolving role of families, fathers wanting to play a more active role in their children's lives, more LGBT and adoptive families, and also the changing gender roles. We wanted to reduce this stereotype that says women will automatically take more leave in the workplace. If we can get men to take leave too, then we'll reduce the biases that people have. And finally, we did it because we think it's good for business. The same as I've been saying about all of these themes, it makes it easier to hire people, it makes it easier to retain people, and people are less stressed and more productive when they come back to work. And this photo was sent to us by one of our employees who was about to go on leave. So finally, the last thing is, it's not enough to just understand what people care about and create policies around them. We actually have to model what we want people to do. Because if leaders don't model the right behavior, then people don't really understand what's expected. And one example is vacation. So There's a trend in Silicon Valley, especially around unlimited vacation. What we did was actually buck that trend and say, we're instead going to give people 5 weeks of vacation. Then the key thing is to actually take it. So I have to admit, it's hard, and as a leader of a company, it's especially hard to feel like you can get out of work. But I push myself to actually take this time and to show the team that we expect, with the intense work that we do, that people will take time to recharge. I think, we look at companies like Change.org. We are a social good company in our mission, in our products. We help people create change every day. But we're also a social good company in how we go about doing business. And our belief is that the face of business is changing, and that pretty much every company will have the economic incentives to become a social good business in the way they treat their employees, and that's the trend we're seeing in the world. Thank you.